Hello prospectors. I'm sure you heard about advanced AI on the workshop mod, and you were curious about basic mechanics about advanced AI. Today, I will introduce you about basic roles on your AI tech. So then let's get right into it. Let's get into basic one called Escort. Escort acts like vanilla bot that follows you, except it now includes pathfinding and does not require that AI tech to be near you in order to fire at enemy tech. It now relies on the range based on AI tech having range, and it will get close on the enemy tech based on the spacing. In default, AI tech have 5,000 range and 5,000 spacing. 5,000 spacing might be a reason why your AI tech is moving away from enemy tech. Also, don't forget to set anchored AI tech to be actually anchored, because you will otherwise have anchored tech moving places you don't want it to go. Next up, Prospector or Miner Tech. It does its automation to mine resources within its range. It uses its weapons to target trees, rocks, any kind except scraps, as they're still yet to be updated. Now it may be quite slow because of pathfinding, and it does get little messy because turret randomly targets nearby seams that Prospector Tech is not going for. But if you let it simmer, you can get massive amount of resources passively. And for Prospector Tech, I recommend using GeoCrop AI1, because it includes RAM option that effectively mines any resources without leaving any uncollected resources unless it reached its capacity. Also, you gotta have its collectors to be up front, as AI tech is going to have hard time to drop off its resources. There we go. Now I recommend that you go. Bro, why would you shoot your own resources? Damn it. Anyways. Now I also recommend Prospector Tech to have high turning and speed. Optionally, you can make tech have little capacity if you want the quicker receive, and maybe make this tech to have no defense around it. Causing campaign, you will set turrets everywhere. Also includes Aegis tech to distract the enemy. In advanced AI, enemy tech will attack the tech who does most damage first, onto another, which is called Assault Tech. Assault Tech will first go into base with remote chargers to refill its batteries. Till then, it will stay idle, looking for enemies in range. If once enemy gets in range, Assault Tech will attack the enemy. Sometimes Assault Tech will be more delayed, since about the updates, there's still bugs on present, and the owner has more important to do things in real life. Assault Tech have slower response than any other tech, in which is unreliable than any other tech. In similarity, it acts like a Aegis tech, so it's best to rely on Aegis tech. Now I want to give a feedback that AI tech will stay in one place after it's been set to assault, recharging batteries and going back on its place that has been set on. Next is Aegis tech. It will always follow nearby tech and destroy enemies in its range. This Aegis tech is very useful, so you can make it escort Prospector or any valuable tech you do not want it to lose. If you want the Aegis tech to follow specific tech, command the Aegis tech and click on the tech to follow it automatically, assuming that you haven't gotten critical error in beginning. Next is the Scrapper or Cleaner tech. Unlike other tech that does its intended purpose, it grabs loose blocks and tosses them at Scrapper or SCU, and it has long range to grab. All it gonna do is grab loose blocks from far away to scrap or store. It doesn't require magnets, and it can also work by only its own AI tech, only AI block and nothing else. This can be useful during the bully, reinforcement missions, reducing the lag, or returning the fallen tech back. Now last but at least Charger Tech. Now I haven't gotten the footage of Charger Tech, but in order to use the Charger Tech needs to have at least 1 Geocrop remote charger and 6 GSO remote charger. Now you can modify it you want, but I recommend 4 base that can outcharge the Charger Tech. Charger Tech will follow any tech that I may assume about 80 to 90% below. Although Charger Tech will also charge Charger Base as well, so you may have to wait for a Charger Base to fully on battery, so Charger Tech can proceed to charge other tech as well. Now I haven't talked about Hardpoint, Mobile Turret, and Mimic Turret yet. But it's because they do not work regardless on what you do. The Mobile Turret tech will always point at front of the enemy, although it's not going to fire. The Hardpoint or Static tech, I would assume, it does like a Mobile Turret tech as well. But it will not move and have its weapons to fire at the enemy, but it's not working for now. Also I tested about RTS, and when I multi-select to take a role, there's at least one has Hardpoint role as well. So it could maybe Hardpoint tech will copy other tech's role if you click on them while selecting the Hardpoint tech. And for Mimic tech, it's disabled, so you cannot have a tech to copy your movements. And for Critical Bug, it will happen if you decided to swap your tech and may be getting destroyed. But it will also happen in random occasions as well. And for Critical Bug, is what it may happen that your AI tech decided to attack your tech. Aegis tech will ignore the tech you specified too. And enemies will attack their own base, Aswell GSO trading station. An only way to solve this is by relaunching the game. I'm sure you know about putting your tech onto enemy pool, so it can be spawned in creative or campaign. But how can you delete the tech from enemy pool? You'll first open in-game wiki. Open the Advanced AI and click Tools. Then open the raw text. Now you may need to Alt plus tab if you are using full screen and click on enemies. And there's 2 folders, eBulk and eLocal. For eBulk is where when you decided to save all your text through the enemy pool. And eLocal is when you send the single tech to enemy pool by snapshot or being on your current tech. So all you gotta do is delete the tech you don't want it to be in or move the tech to other folder for temporary remove. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and you can help me out by like, share and subscribe to this channel, as I will make more about advanced AI I can find. And most of all, may your world be your playground, prospectors. And see you soon.